Welcome back to the channel. This is Trinity Storm and you are watching second part of What If Naruto Became Heir of No Life Prince. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
Sato Kusagakure. Naruto was perched in a tree outside of Kusagakure, wearing his Anbu mask and holding a telescope to his visible eye. He spent the previous week observing his fellow Uzumaki and killing bandits. Karin lives in the village's south, away from the majority of its residents. It took everything he had not to raise the village as he watched Kusa Ninja drag Karin out of her home and return her hours later, exhausted and near catatonic. He dispatched clones in disguise after learning that Karin would be taken to the hospital and her special ability used to heal anyone in need. Because they had Karin as a tool, the doctors were lazy and decadent. "You know the monkey is doing this to keep you in the village," says Kyubi. "Of course I know that. He knows that if he dies or steps down as Hokage and the new cage isn't cordial to me, I'll vanish. So he's trying to keep me rooted by retrieving Karin," Naruto thought. The blonde transforms into a crow murderer and reforms some distance away from the village with his evidence. "Halt," yells a stern voice. "I am here on behalf of Konoha. I need to speak with your leader," Naruto says, pointing to his Hitai aid around his neck. "Ha. You're here with no word. Beat it, kid," sneers the guard, a large man with black hair and tan skin. "Either tell him I'm here or risk losing our alliance," says Naruto, leaking some of his ki. The guard gulps and lets Naruto pass, but the blonde senses several ninja on him now. People cast tired glances his way as he makes his way to the leader's building, which is small in comparison to the Hokage Tower. "You're trespassing in Kusa, kid," says another guard, holding a spear. He is a plain-looking man with brown hair and eyes who is dressed in Anbu armor. "Look, I'm here on business with your leader. I'm an ambassador from Konoha," Naruto says as he raises his glasses to his brow. "So Konoha sends children ambassador," the guard tsks as he leads Naruto to the office of their leader Sui. "I'm old enough," says Naruto, and the guard scoffs before opening the door. "Sui-sama. Some Konoha ambassador," the guard says. Sui is a fair-skinned man with shoulder-length black hair, gray pupil-less eyes, a dark brown-gray kimono-like shirt with cream outlines, black pants, a white robe tied around his waist, black socks, and black sandals. "What does the great Konoha desire?" Zsui asks. "Kusa is housing a member of the Uzumaki clan, and I have come to substantiate rumors of her mistreatment," Naruto says, reaching into his vest and tossing his evidence on the table. "That is absurd. Guards arrest this brat. He's trespassing. Konoha will pay dearly for this affront," Zsui exclaims, but Naruto unleashes some ki, freezing the guard. "Abnormal living conditions. Mistreatment and abduction by your shinobi. So I, Naruto Uzumaki, have come to take her into my custody, and if you deny this," Naruto says, tossing the scroll to Sui. He opens the scroll and reads the contents while gnashing his teeth in front of the evidence. Sui barks, "Go get the Uzumaki," and the guard bows. "How dare Konoha threaten Kusa?" hisses Zsui. "How dare Kusa treat a member of my clan in such a manner?" Naruto retorts, his arms behind his back. Before Sui could respond, the guard returns with Karin, who is both angry and terrified. "You sent for me, Sui-sama?" Karin inquires, but notices Naruto. "Hello, Karin. I am Naruto Uzumaki and I am here to take you into Konohagakure's custody." The blonde turns on his heels and bows to her. "Why haven't I committed a crime?" Karin wonders. "No, you didn't. Konohagakure learned of your mistreatment and sent me the head of the Uzumaki clan to take you into custody," Naruto explains, his face flushed. "But I'm a Kusa citizen," Karin says, but she can sense Jui's rage. However, Sui has more than enough evidence of your treatment, and if he knows what's good for him, he'll release you into my care, as well as the remains of your mother, Naruto says. They burned my mom. I have her ashes at home, Karin says, giving Sui a dirty look. When you're done talking, take her and leave my village, Zsui yells, slamming his fist on the desk. Naruto lowers his glasses and turns to Karin. Let's get your belongings and be on our way, he says, keenly aware of a small snake hiding under the desk. Location is unknown. Sannin Orochimaru, the dreaded snake, sits on a throne as one of his snake summons dispels with a message, Kukuku. Naruto-kun has come to claim his kinsman, he muses. Fetch me Guren, orders Orochimaru, and one of his minions flees. A young woman enters the throne room after a few minutes. You sent for me, Orochimaru-sama, she says. She has fair skin, dark eyes, and light blue hair that is pulled back into a spiky ponytail with long strands framing her face. Yes, Guren. I have a mission for you. You are to go to the Kusa fire border and intercept 2 people. I want them both alive. They are valuable test subjects, explains Orochimaru. Their names are Naruto and Karin Uzumaki. The former is the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Do not underestimate him, Orochimaru says as he rises from his throne and hands her 2 photos. I will not, Orochimaru-sama, Guren says, apologizing. Orochimaru returns to his throne, closes his eyes, and then opens them as another of his snakes approaches with a scroll. Naruto-kun, you have so many secrets. It seems I sent poor Guren to her death, Orochimaru says to no one as he reads Kabuto's report. Orochimaru leaves his throne room for one of his projects, where he sees his renowned Sound 4 training prisoners or troops for the impending invasion. Kidmaru, thought Orochimaru. He has dark skin, black shaggy hair tied into a ponytail, black eyes, and 6 arms. Second, Orochimaru's story continues. He has fair skin and straight, dark blue hair, and a second head appears on his right shoulder. Gerb, Orochimaru continues. He is the tallest of the 4, with fair skin, slanted orange eyes, and 3 tufts of orange hair on his head. And finally, to Yuya, Orochimaru concludes. She is the only female among the 4, with fair skin, brown eyes, and long, wild, dark pink hair. The Sannin moves on to one of his labs, where a young man is hooked up to several devices on one of the slabs. Kimimaro, I'll need you soon, Orochimaru reasoned. Kimimaro has fair skin, bright green eyes, angular features, 2 scarlet dots on his brow, and shoulder-length white hair. Indeed, if Kabuto's report is correct, Orochimaru reasoned. In Kusa, Naruto and Karin travel to the Fire Country border, and the journey is filled with small talk between the 2. Will the Hokage accept me as a kunoichi? Karin wonders. If that's your choice, do you want to be a ninja? Says Naruto. Karin thinks and adjusts her glasses. I don't know, but I want to be able to defend myself, she says. You can become a medical ninja, Naruto says, and Karin nods slowly. The 2 continue at a normal pace, but Karin's eyes narrow. Naruto. I sense several people following us, she says. I know, Naruto says, and a smokeless clone appears before kneeling. Get on his back and he'll take you to the border. I'll catch up, Naruto says, and Karin nods slowly, climbing onto the clone's back and disappearing. As several masked ninja appear around him, Naruto pulls his guard less Chikudo from the seal on his wrist. Kusa is very foolish to send people after Karin. Did Sui assume I was just a Chunin? He says, as his glasses shift to his Anbu mask. The Kusa Anbu are quickly alerted as Naruto's visible eye begins to glow brightly. A word of advice. When confronted with an enemy of overwhelming strength, breathe as one. Link your breathing with your body and soul. Then come together and attack as one. Naruto says at the end, shouting. FTON. Senpi no Ha. Naruto thought as he swung his Chikuto at the Anbu, their swords aimed to pierce him from all sides. As his mask partially shifts to his sunglasses and a trail of blood runs down his face, blood, parts, and bodies rain down around Naruto. Do that, and you might survive, Naruto muses as he licks the blood from his face, his eyes narrowing. Naruto vanishes as sharp blue crystals erupt from the ground in a long path, but Guren was at the start of the path with her hand on the ground. Are you from Kusa? Asks Naruto, who appears to be everywhere. Guren stands to her full height, looking around. Where is the girl? She asks. Yet you claim to be from Kusa, Naruto says, his eyes narrowing and a smirk forming on his lips. The snake, Naruto adds, and Guren glares, weaving signs quickly and stopping at Ram. Shton. Shuriken Ranbu, Guren exclaims, producing crystal shuriken. Naruto swings his Chikuto in all directions, blocking and splintering the shuriken. Guren flashes more signs before coming to a halt at Snake. Shton. Suished, she says, forming blue crystal blades on her forearms and charging Naruto. The two quickly engage in an elegant death dance, but one of Guren's blades shatters as Naruto's sword hums with Raiden. Guren narrowly avoids a Naruto strike, but her cheek opens up as she leaps back. How dare you cut my face? Guren exclaims, but her eyes widen as Naruto licks some of his blade's blood. Guren quickly flashes several more signs and comes to a halt at Ram, shouting, Shton! Cry, and conjuring up a crystal Chinese dragon. Naruto smirks and shoots forward as the dragon does the same, FTON, Kazekiri. He yells, shattering the dragon but not finished as several cuts appear on Guren's body. She staggers back with wide eyes and locks eyes with Naruto's blue Sharingan, only to be met by darkness. A rare bloodline. I think I'll keep her a secret for now, Naruto says as he draws a scroll from his cargo pocket and approaches the unconscious Guren. Naruto then seals Guren in a stasis prisoner scroll before disappearing in a flash to catch up with his clone and Karin. 2 days later in Konoha. Kusa will most likely put me in their bingo book, Naruto says as Karin stands next to him as the blonde explains things to the Sandaime. Hiruzen leans back in his chair, his pipe in his mouth, and says, it was bound to happen. Unofficially, Kaiketsuki is in there, but now you are officially. Regardless, your mission was successful, he says, shifting his gaze to Karin. Now, Karin-chan, do you want to become a Konoha shinobi or stay a civilian? Asks Hiruzen. Can I think about it, Hokage-sama? Karin asks, shifting her weight between her feet. Hiruzen gives a grandfatherly smile to Karin with a nod, for now you will be living with Naruto-kun. Unless you wish a place of your own, he says. She can have one of my apartments. They're quite large and have all the amenities, says Naruto. You own your own apartment? Karin inquires, and Hiruzen laughs. He owns the entire complex. Up until 3 years ago. Naruto-kun has not had the best life, Hiruzen laments. Naruto told me about things, Karin says, and Hiruzen casts a glance at the blonde. Alright. You two are excused, Hiruzen says, and both nod and bow at the waist. Karin and Naruto exit the tower and walk through the village. So the sun isn't a problem for you? Karin inquires. I can take it, but it's annoying. If I didn't have to babysit my team, I would sleep until the afternoon, Naruto muses as he adjusts his sunglasses with a raise of his hand and a so-so motion. The two quickly arrive at Naruto's complex in the red light district and proceed to the top floor. It appears that no one is awake, Naruto says as he removes his boots. Karin removes her sandals and follows Naruto to the living room, where she sits on the recliner. The apartments below have the same layout with 2 bedrooms. Full kitchen and bathroom. They are below the dojo and pool floors. Both floors are soundproof with seals as well, Naruto explains as he sits on the sofa. The two continue to make small talk as Naruto reminisces about his youth and Karin does the same. When did you get back, Naruto? Kurenai asks, yawning and wearing a large t-shirt. Karin looks at Kurenai's ethereal beauty and turns to Naruto. Not long ago, and this is Karin, he says. I'm Kurenai Yuhi, and I'm sorry about the clothes, Kurenai says. Nice to meet you. We didn't wake you guys up, Karin says as she adjusts her glasses and shakes Kurenai's hand. Kurenai waves her hand away. Not at all. Our rooms are sound and sunproof. So you know who we are, Kurenai says to her blonde. Naruto told me some things. He wanted me prepared, Karin says, and Kurenai nods slowly, but the redhead blushes. Are you naked underneath that? Karin inquires, and Kurenai laughs, lifting the shirt to reveal a pair of jean shorts and a red bra. I'm not that immodest. Anko or Hana, on the other hand, Kurenai says, and Naruto snorts and rises to his feet. Can you show Karin to one of the lower apartments? I need to take care of something. Oh, we're having dinner at 6 as well. You can meet the others, Naruto says before disappearing with a seamless shunshin. Guren awoke with a start and found herself in a cell, wondering, where am I? As she noticed the bandages on her body.
Finally awake, Guren hears, and looks up to see Naruto standing with his arms folded.
Orochimaru's left hand clenches her teeth and summons chakra, but she is unable to use any. Don't bother. I sealed your chakra, says Naruto, slipping a lollipop into his mouth. Let me out, you cretin. Do you know who I am? Guren yells. One of Orochimaru's pets. You should be grateful I kept you alive. I could have drained you dry and enslaved your soul as one of my familiars, Naruto says, causing Guren's breath to catch. Ho ho. You were sent in blind. That means Kabuto didn't get to tell Orochimaru everything about me, Naruto says, grabbing the side of his lips and pulling them wide. Guren's eyes slowly widen as he notices the 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth in front of him. What stands before you is Naruto Uzumaki, also known as Kaiketsuki, but more importantly No Life Duke, Naruto says, letting go of the sides of his mouth. Orochimaru-sama will come and dissect you, monster, Guren exclaims. Oh, keep telling yourself that. For now you'll be fed and cleaned. You have enough chakra to function, he says as he turns to leave but comes to a halt. Oh, try to escape, and your heart will explode, and I'll just eat your corpse, Naruto laughs as he walks away. Naruto walks through the ruins of Nei HQ but comes to a halt when Sai appears in front of him. Make sure she's alive. I'd hate to lose her, he says. Yes, Naruto-sama, Sai responds. Anything noteworthy? Asks Naruto, and Sai nods. Yes. Hanzo the Salamander no longer rules Omegacure, Sai begins, and Naruto narrows his eyes and encourages her to continue. We would have sent operatives, but the village's reign is laden with chakra. We would have been discovered, Sai concludes, gasping as Naruto lifts her chin to meet his gaze. Good work. Keep doing such a good job and I will reward you with one of my queens. I also need a detail on Homura and Kaharu. Sooner or later they'll dare, Naruto says, and Sai nods, before the blonde bursts into a murder of crows. As several crows fly away, Naruto appears on top of his father's stone head, his upper body hidden in darkness. "How come you didn't kill that woman?" Kyuubi inquires. "Why indeed? For fun. The sport of fighting her again. Perhaps adding her to my menagerie, but that doesn't feel right. Unlike my queens, she has no connection to me." Naruto muses, leaping from the stone head. Naruto reappears in the village for a stroll before dinner. "Where have you been, Naru Baka?" screams a voice. Naruto rubs his ears and turns to see Sakura and Ino. "Why?" he asks, puzzled. "Because you're a member of Sasuke team," Kun Sakura explains. "Don't you two despise each other?" says Naruto, pointing between them. "Don't change the subject. Sasuke-kun can't take on more difficult missions without his entire team," Ino says. "He won't until Senpai feels he's ready. He's only been a genin for a short time. At most a few months before anything high rank," says Naruto. "But Sasuke-kun must avenge his clan," Sakura exclaims, as Naruto waves his hand. "Itachi murdered his clan when he was younger than Sasuke is now. Do you think he can beat that without his precious Sharingan?" Naruto shot, infuriating Sakura and Ino. "What do you know? You're a clanless orphan," Ino says, but Naruto snorts and laughs. "Actually, I'm not. I'm from the Uzumaki clan. You ever notice the red spiral on the backs of Chunin and Jonin vests? They wear that in honor of my deceased clan," Naruto explains and smirks, "so I'm not so different from Sasuke," he adds. "Then why didn't anyone know?" Ino responds. "My parents were famous ninja. Gramps thought I couldn't handle the news, and I used to agree with him until 3 years ago," Naruto responds. "That doesn't change the fact that you're weaker than Sasuke-kun," Sakura exclaims. "For someone so smart. You were stupid. I am a Chunin. I busted my ass for 3 years to get this far. I'm sure your sensei can tell you how hard the Chunin exams are," Naruto says as he turns on his heels. "I'm done talking. But I'll give you some advice. Sasuke doesn't want weak women. So you do well to get stronger," Naruto says before disappearing. Naruto returns to his apartment complex, thinking, "Well, that ruined my walk," as he approached his apartment and heard voices. Naruto finds Karin talking to his queens. Luckily Anko and Hana were presentable, and says, "So what does everyone want for dinner?" "No dango," before Anko can say anything. Kurenai says, "Whatever you think is quick," and Naruto nods. "Did you find the apartment to your liking?" asks Naruto. "Yeah, and thank Kami they are furnished, but I'll need to go shopping," Karin says as the blonde creates a clone to start on some chicken and noodles.
Kurenai says, "I can take you," and Karin nods.
"Karin told us. Kusa sent people after you," Yugo inquires, and Naruto nods. "Several Anbu, but they failed. Kusa will most likely put me in the bingo books. Meaning other nations will take notice," Naruto responds. "Sucks you won't be in the Chunin exams," Anko says, shrugging. "Oh well. I'm sure Gramps will find me something to do," Naruto muses, and they all nod before sitting down to eat dinner with stories. 2 weeks have passed. Well, my kawaii genin and Chunin. Since Sasuke and Hinata did well with their tree walking. We'll take a simple C rank mission, says Kakashi. Are you sure that's wise, Senpai? They've only been genin for a month or so, Nagu remarks. He's now dressed in black Anbu cargo pants, combat boots, a form-fitting black shirt with silver sleeves and suspenders, and combat boots. A white jacket with a high collar that buttons near the right shoulder, black trim, 2 tails, and a red scarf around his neck. I believe they are. Besides, they have both of us, Kakashi says as they walk to the mission hall. Ah, another D-ranked mission for Team 7, Hiruzen says, but Kakashi shakes his head. No, Hokage-sama. We've come for a C-rank mission, Kakashi says, and Iruka gasps, about to say something when Hiruzen raises his hand. Well, we did have one come in. Iruka, go fetch Tazuna, Hiruzen says, and Iruka nods reluctantly, excusing himself. Iruka returns a few minutes later with an older man with gray hair and glasses, a straw hat tied around his neck. He's dressed in a sleeveless V-neck shirt, an obi, pants, and sandals. Is this the team that will take me back to Nami? Asks Tazuna, and Hiruzen nods. This will be an escort mission. Pack for an extended mission and meet at the main gate in 1 hour, Kakashi orders, and the three nod, excusing themselves. How have they been doing? Hiruzen inquires. Sasuke is getting the hang of tree walking, and Hinata is starting water walking, but Sasuke is frustrated when it comes to Naruto, Kakashi begins. I'm sure Naruto-kun is antagonizing Sasuke-kun, Hiruzen sighs and leans back in his chair. On the contrary. Sasuke tries to provoke Naruto, but each time he fails, and he becomes frustrated. I've been keeping him occupied with training, but it only works so much, Kakashi concludes. And Hinata? Hiruzen inquires. She has expressed no interest in ninjutsu, but she is obsessed with Naruto. Hokage-sama, I suspect Hinata knows Naruto's secret but not his paler features, Kakashi responds. Hiruzen cups his chin in thought. Keep an eye on her and notify Naruto as well, he says, and Kakashi nods before disappearing with Leaf Shunshin. Main gate of Konoha. Hinata waits for her team with a backpack on her back and her eyes closed, as she was the first to arrive with the client. She has spent the last 2 weeks attempting to solve the mystery that is Naruto. When they were kids, he saved her from bullies, but her clan forbade her from hanging out with him. However, she frequently observed the boy and saw how foolish he was, but everything changed when he vanished 3 years ago. Hey, what's up with your blonde teammate? He's strange, Tazuna says, shaking Hinata out of her thoughts. When she opens her eyes, she sees Naruto approaching, sunglasses covering his eyes and his hands in his pockets. I don't know Tazuna-san, Hinata says. Naruto took a seat next to Hinata, but he didn't have a backpack. You have no gear? She inquires, but Naruto taps his cargo pocket. Sealed away in storage scrolls. Better convenience, comments Naruto. Hinata closes her eyes again in thought. I will need your power, Naruto. The power of a Jinchuriki to unseat my father as clan leader, she thinks. After a few minutes, Sasuke appears with his own backpack, followed by Kakashi 20 minutes later. Alright team. This is our first mission outside the village. Keep your eyes open and your senses sharp. We may encounter bandits or highwaymen. So be prepared, Kakashi says, and they all nod as they leave the village at a civilian's pace. For a while, the only sounds are their breathing and nature's noises. I'll scout ahead, Naruto says, breaking the silence. Don't be reckless, Kakashi says, and Naruto nods before disappearing with a smooth shunshin. Tazuna-san, why did you come to Konoha for an escort? Hinata asks the remaining members of Team 7 and Tazuna as they continue their journey to Nami no Kuni. Well, Nami doesn't have a shinobi village. I'm building a bridge to the mainland. So I came to the nearest one, Tazuna explains as he wipes his brow and sips from his flask. The group continues on, but Naruto appears in front of them in a crouch, his chikuto across his back, but everyone notices blood on his cheek. Naruto? Exclaims Kakashi. Up ahead was an ambush. 2 missing nin from Kirigakure. The demon brothers, Naruto says, rising to his full height and shifting his gaze to Tizuna with a blank expression. Why would two missing nin plan an ambush? Kakashi inquires, pointing to Tizuna. They were hired by a man named Gato to go after him, Naruto explains as Tizuna clenches his fists. Tizuna begins to explain the situation in Nami, beginning with Gato entering the country, killing his son-in-law, and destroying their country, bringing it to the brink of collapse. This violates our mission parameters. If we continue, a Jonin will come next, and with two genin, I can't in good conscience continue this mission, Kakashi says, turning to face Naruto, as Tizuna tries to hide his fears of being abandoned. However, between Naruto and myself, we should be able to survive, Kakashi says, turning his attention to Sasuke and Hinata. We should continue. I need to put my skills to the test, Sasuke says curtly. I agree we should continue, but I also request backup, Hinata says. Alright, I'll send word to Hokage-sama. However, this bumps the mission to at least a rank, Kakashi says, cupping his chin in thought.
Thank you all, says Tizuna.
Team 7 continues towards Nami, while Pakun, Kakashi's Inu summon, returns to Konoha with a message for the Hokage. Nami no Kuni. As Team 7 crosses the water in a small boat, they notice the imposing bridge. Impressive, Naruto thinks. Thank you. This is our chance to be free of Gato, Tizuna says. As the boat approaches the coast, a thick mist passes through, making it difficult to see. Hard to see, Sasuke remarks as they approach land. Nami is surrounded by the ocean, which creates thick mist, Tizuna says as they walk through the forest towards his home. The mist clears to reveal an open area, but Sasuke tosses a kunai into the bushes as a white rabbit scampers out. With a glance to Naruto, Kakashi's eye narrows. The code is wrong, he thinks, but gasps, everyone down. He yells, tackling Tizuna. Everyone ducks as a massive sword sails into their line of sight, except for Naruto, who raises his boot and shoots it forward with a loud clang as it collides with the sword. A clone appears and grabs the massive sword, hurling it with a dispel towards a tree, but a tall man lands on it with his back to them. He has a strong build, light grayish skin, short spiky black hair, dark brown eyes, and small brows. Well. If it isn't Zabuza Momochi, says Kakashi. Quite impressive for a Chunin to throw my Kabikarabik, Zabuza says, keeping his gaze between Naruto and Kakashi. Ho, I get to see the famed Sharingan of Kakashi no Sharingan. I am honored, Zabuza says as Kakashi reaches for his Hitai 8. Sharingan? He's not from my clan. Pondered Sasuke. With a serious expression, Kakashi reveals his famous eye, Team Protect Tizuna, he orders. Hinata and Sasuke each pull out a kunai, while Naruto pulls out a pair of trench knives, but Zabuza laughs and squats down on his sword's hilt. To see the famed copy ninja's Sharingan so soon. You must be slipping, Zabuza sneers as more mist falls. Zabuza leaps from the tree and lands on a small lake near them, raising a half-ram sign as the mist thickens. Ninpi. Kirigakure no Jutsu, Zabuza says before disappearing into the mist. Hinata activates her Byakugan, but the mist is dense with chakra and conceals Zabuza. Now which points should I strike first? Says Zabuza, who appears to be speaking from nowhere. Thick ki washes over the area as Zabuza taunts with the 8 points, but Sasuke, Tizuna, and Hinata were struggling. Damn it. What is this? I should end it to escape this, Sasuke thought, his eyes flickering and his kunai slowly pointing at his throat. Naruto smacks the kunai from his hand, hissing, "Get it together Teme," but noticing his eyes. Ho. A measly Chunin can withstand my bloodlust, Zabuza says as he appears behind them, his sword raised but his head left his shoulders. Instead of blood, Zabuza transforms into a puddle of water, while Kakashi unleashes his ki to counter Zabuza. "Senpai in front!" yells Naruto. Impressive Chunin, Zabuza sneers and Naruto grins as Kakashi dodges the real Zabuza's wide swing and lands in front of his team. As Team 7 and Tazuna watch, Kakashi shoots forward to engage Zabuza in a macabre dance of death, but the vampire sighs. Zabuza delivers a Spartan kick to Kakashi, sending him crashing into a lake. "It's over," sneers Zabuza, appearing behind Kakashi with his hands out. Zabuza says, "Suiten, Sur no Jutsu," and Kakashi gasps. "Damn it, I got careless," he thought as the water gurgled and formed a large orb of water around him. Naruto. "It's your turn," Kakashi exclaims, surprising everyone except Naruto. "You owe me then, Senpai," Naruto exclaims, and a clone appears. "What are you doing, Dobi?" screams Sasuke. "I'm going to free Senpai," says Naruto. As Naruto moves forward, Zabuza begins to laugh. "You think some Chunin can beat me when you couldn't," he sneers, creating 3 Mizu Bunshin. "Your kid's playing ninja," Zabuza says, thickening the mist, but Naruto smiles wide. The blonde vampire enters the mist, and 2 clones appear to keep the mist thick as he steps on the lake. "They are but me." "Nah," says Naruto. As one of the clones approaches him, he shoots forward with his left trench knife, but it collapses into water from a wide swing of Naruto's FTON enhanced knife. The 2 remaining clones swing their swords at Naruto, forcing him to leap and dive to avoid them and slam his right hand on the water, but the blonde tosses his trench knife at the real Zabuza. "Hey, too slow," sneers Zabuza, leaping over the knife, but Naruto smirks. As his clones collapse into water from Naruto's chains, Zabuza gasps as the second knife streaks towards him, forcing him to release Kakashi to swing his sword, but Naruto substitutes the knife for a delayed dropkick. Zabuza grunts as he kicks towards the other side of the lake, but he corrects himself and falls into a crouch. "I'll finish this, Senpai," the blonde says as he staggers to his feet as Naruto approaches. "I became careless," says Kakashi. "You're no ordinary Chunin," Zabuza says as Naruto approaches slowly and methodically. "Of course. You may have heard of my alias." "Kaiketsuki," Naruto says, and Zabuza's breath catches but he laughs. "Vampire."
HMM interesting, Zabuza says as he begins a rapid set of signs, but he gasps as Naruto matches him, stopping at the bird.
"Suiten. Suirita no Jutsu," they both yell. The water gurgles and swirls, forming 2 dragons with golden eyes that collide as Naruto draws Chikuto and swings to block Zabuza's Kabikarabik. "How the hell did you match me?" exclaims Zabuza. Naruto grins as he backpedals into a full circle run and perfectly matches Zabuza. "Who knows," he mocks, infuriating the swordsman of the mist. FTON. Daitapa, Naruto says as he tosses his sword and flashes several signs to stop at the snake. Zabuza jerks as he is thrown back by the wind, which sends him through the forest and into a tree. "Aw fuck," yells Zabuza as a Naruto's knife embeds itself in his right leg. As Zabuza glares, Naruto appears with a Shunshin, but he gasps as a Sharingan appears in Naruto's right eye, but it is blue. "A Sharingan, but how?" hisses Zabuza. Naruto grins widely and flashes his teeth, saying, "Sorry, but those who bear witness to my secrets do not live to tell the tale," as he raises his left arm. Zabuza exhales and his eyes widen as Naruto's arm transforms into thick tendrils with mouths on the ends as he moves forward slowly. "Zabuza-sama!" exclaimed a voice. As a masked ninja appears, Naruto whips his head to the left and smirks. "Too late," he howls. "Haku?" yells Zabuza as the masked ninja is pierced by the tendrils and splattered with blood. Zabuza quickly rips the knife from his leg and slams it into Naruto's head from the right, crumpling the vampire, but he doesn't have time to gloat because Kakashi appears. Damn it. Another time, copy ninja, Zabuza hisses before disappearing with a Mizu Shunshin. When Kakashi notices the wide-eyed look, he sighs and shifts his gaze to Naruto. Naruto, he says. One's second, Naruto says as he grabs the knife and pulls it from his head. He slowly rolls his neck up, but his gaze shifts to the masked ninja named Haku. Seems Zabuza had help, Naruto says. Their mask has come off, revealing an effeminate boy around Naruto's age with a shocked expression on his face. My clone will take you to the others. I'll catch up, says Naruto. Right. I can feel unconsciousness approaching, Kakashi says tiredly. The clone moves through the mist, draping Kakashi's right arm over his shoulder. Interesting, a Heitan user, Naruto says, pulling Haku's corpse closer and beginning to absorb the body into his own. Tizuna's residence. Hinata keeps an eye on Kakashi as he recovers from chakra exhaustion, with Naruto and Sasuke keeping an eye on him downstairs. Tizuna's daughter Tsunami and grandson Inari were friendly, but the boy appeared hostile. Footsteps draw her attention, and it's Tsunami. Hyuga-san, any changes? She asks, her dark blue hair loose. I'm still unconscious. Hinata says, and Tsunami smiles. I'll bring some tea, Tsunami says, apologizing. Hinata moves closer to the open window, her mind wandering to Naruto. Unlike most people her age, she had overheard her father and clan elders discussing the fact that Naruto was the jailer of the dreaded Kyuubi no Yoko. The same beast that attacked their village 16 years ago, killing Lord Fourth and dozens of others. They said the creature was dead, but it's still alive and well, Hinata observed. Hinata looks up to see Kakashi waking up. How are you feeling, sensei? She asks. Kakashi asks, where are Naruto and Sasuke? With a weak eye smile. Naruto is patrolling, and Sasuke is downstairs. Sensei, please tell me if Zabuza is alive or dead, Hinata says. Unfortunately, Zabuza is still alive. Before Naruto could deliver the finishing blow, his accomplice arrived and allowed him to escape, but he's injured, and it's a serious one, explains Kakashi. Well, it's a good thing we arrived so quickly, a voice says as they both notice Kurenai. The raven hair vampiress is dressed in a nylon, black full bodysuit, a red mesh armor blouse with only the right sleeve visible, and a dress that resembles bandages with a pattern similar to rose thorns, as well as ankle-length close-toe boots. That was quick, Kakashi remarks. I pushed my team pretty hard. Sakura collapsed as soon as we arrived, Kurenai explains, looking at Hinata. I saw Sasuke, but where is Naruto? Says Kurenai. He's patrolling, Kakashi responds, and Kurenai nods slowly before explaining the current situation. Naruto sits on the roof of Tizuna's seaside home, smoking a cigarette, but a sweet scent fills his nose as he gazes at the night sky. How's your team doing? Asks Naruto. Except for Shino, who shows promise. Kiba was difficult for me from the moment he saw me. Genma did his best with the resources he had, but Sakura is pitiful, Kurenai explains, and Naruto frowns. Kurenai sits in Naruto's lap. Karin told me a Might Guy student came by, she adds, and Naruto sighs, pulling her closer. Show me, Naruto says, pulling her bodysuit over her head and biting her neck. Kurenai moans as Naruto sinks his fangs into her, but Naruto raises his wrist, allowing her to bite him and the two vampires to share memories. Tenten is probing again, Naruto thought as he drew back. Kurenai keeps drinking from his wrist, but the blonde pulls it away. I didn't know you knew her, she says as she cleans her mouth. At the orphanage. Plus, I saved her team last year. She saw me using my Colt and fell in love with it being a weapons mistress, Naruto muses. Imagine if such a weapon fell into the hands of lesser people, Naruto continues. I have a horrible thought. So, when are we going after Gato? Kurenai inquires as the blonde wraps his arms around her thin waist. Naruto sighs and rests his chin on her shoulder. Tomorrow evening. I'll sleep all day, then we'll murder him and take over his business. If things don't work out, we'll need money. Kurenai rests her head on his shoulder as he speaks. Kurenai says, "We're with you," and Naruto smiles. Of course, my lovely raven, says Naruto, and Kurenai laughs. The morning came too soon for the vampires, so Naruto lied about guarding the house to sleep the day away, keeping Sakura and Kiba at bay. Kurenai used her genjutsu to conceal the fact that Naruto was sleeping in a coffin and instead shows him in a bed. She exits the room and heads to meet the others, but she comes to a halt. Screw the fact that I'm sleeping with Naruto. Being awake is inconvenient, Kurenai pondered and created a reinforced shadow clone. Kurenai enters the room and sees Naruto holding up the coffin lid. I figured you'd want to sleep, he muses as she climbs inside. Where are Naru Baka? Both vampires sigh as a voice screeches. How do you put up with her? Says Naruto as he closes the coffin. Kurenai sighs, her head in his chest. I'm tempted to use genjutsu on her, but that would be wrong, she says, as Naruto rubs her back. Nightfall. Several guards stand in front of Gato's mansion, talking about nothing in particular, when pink rose petals begin to fill the air. What is this? One asks, extending his hand to catch one. The other, on the other hand, collapses with a smoking hole in his forehead, shocking the first guard, but he couldn't think any further as a kunai was rammed into his throat. Kurenai emerges from the shadows and wrenches the kunai free, guiding the man to the ground while drinking his blood. As Kurenai licked the rest of the blood from the kunai, Naruto slowly appears as a mist begins to creep into the compound. Do you have the layout? He asks. I do, Kurenai responds. Naruto creates nearly 30 shadow clones, while Kurenai creates a dozen. Disperse yourself. Genjutsu that covers a large area. There's no need for any of them to flee, as Kurenai weaves signs to slowly fade away, he orders and the clones vanish. As his and Kurenai's clones were killing all the mercenaries in Gato's employ, Naruto leaps over the gate and shoots across the ground to the main house. He arrives at the main house and disintegrates into fog, in search of Gato himself. The blonde soon discovers the man of the hour in his bed, smelling strongly of sex and alcohol. Nasty insect, Naruto thought as he formed himself at the edge of his bed. Gato is a short man with brown hair and beady eyes. Naruto rolls his eyes as his form transforms into a very voluptuous woman with L-cup breasts and long blonde hair but shaved sides. Gato-sama, coos Naruto. Gato snorts and opens his eyes to see a goddess in human form. Who are you? He asks. Don't you recall? You came looking for me and ravished me. I've never worked so hard in my life, Naruto says as he crawls into bed. Gato could feel his ego rising and himself becoming aroused. Oh well, I'll have to touch you again after today. That fucking ninja took off, but I wasn't going to pay him anyway, he claims. Naruto tilts her head as she approaches Gato, her breasts slightly jiggling and enticing Gato. Shinobi are said to be terrifying. Forget about it, Naruto says, leaning in, are you ready to send me to heaven? She continues. More like you going to hell, Naruto howls, driving a hand into Gato's chest. Gato screams in agony, but Naruto begins to draw in his blood, causing it to fizzle and the color to drain from his body. I wouldn't drink a single drop of your blood if I didn't need your riches, Naruto hisses as he slowly removes his hand. As a clone pops to life, the vampire returns to normal and gets out of bed.
Display his corpse like he did Kaiza, Naruto orders, and the clone nods.
He rolls his neck and makes his way to the mansion's lower levels, finding cells with broken people but stopping at one. "Victoria," says Naruto. A young woman in rags and a sheet emerges from the darkness of the cell, with dark skin, red-black hair, and purple eyes. "Yes, Naruto-sama," says Victoria as Naruto fades into the shadows. "Now you have money," Kyuubi remarks as the blonde appears in front of Gato's mansion. "With enough. Even I have the ability to vanish if necessary," looking up at the night sky, Naruto muses. "How did that woman know your name?" Kyuubi asks, smirking at Naruto. "Sharingan Shisui. I don't need to make eye contact to activate it, and because of the darkness. My field of view is much wider," Naruto pondered. The next morning, the people were shocked to find Gato's body strung up in the town square. Except for 2 members of Team 7 and Team 8, everyone was shocked when they arrived at Gato's mansion and found nothing. Kakashi returned the genin to guard Tazuna, much to Kiba and Sasuke's chagrin, but they reluctantly obeyed their sensei's orders. "Did you do all of this, Naruto?" Kakashi inquires, and Naruto casts a glance at Kurenai. "I wasn't alone. Kurenai and I made our mission easier and freed this country from Gato's rule," says Naruto. Kurenai remarks, "That disgusting pig deserved everything he got," and Kakashi sighs and rubs his eye. "We'll keep what really happened from the people and tell them it was infighting," Kakashi says as he turns to face Naruto. "You must know where he stores the items he stole from Nami," he continues. It also appears Zabuza took off too. "His prowess suffers without Haku," Naruto says as he slowly nods and motions for them to follow. Naruto enters Gato's office and walks over to a large portrait of a naked woman. "We'll need to keep an eye out for him in case he returns," Kakashi says as he removes the portrait. Naruto starts on the combination for the wall safe, and it clicks open, revealing a plethora of deeds and money inside. "We'll give them back to the people, as well as any other money," Kakashi says, and both of them nod. "Do you want my team to return to Konoha?" inquires Kurenai. "Your team is welcome to stay. We can practice working together as a team," Kakashi says with a wink to Kurenai. Konohagakure.
Karin approaches the Hokage, Sandaime-sama.
"I would like to become a ninja," she says solemnly. Hiruzen puffs on his pipe, a grandfatherly expression on his face. "That's great. If you want, I can add you to Team 7, he claims. "That's fine, Sandaime-sama, but won't that have an effect on Naruto?" Karin asks, but Hiruzen shakes his head. "Naruto-kun will remain on the team until the Chunin exams in a few months," Hiruzen says, to which Karin nods. "Can you do the Academy 3? Hiruzen inquires, and Karin nods. "Anko has been assisting me. Naruto also taught me the Kage Bunshin," Karin responds. "That will be a blessing for you. Uzumaki has a lot of money. It will also assist you in catching up to the other genin." Hiruzen nods and hands Karin a slip. "Go to the academy and talk to Iruka. He'll put you to the test," Hiruzen continues, and Karin accepts the slip with a nod and excuses herself. Karin left the Hokage Tower and made her way to the academy, the village bustling and people staring at her. The fact that she and Naruto were cousins had spread, with some giving her the side eye, but it didn't bother her because of her life in Kusa. The redhead arrives at the academy and looks for Iruka, who is teaching a class, and knocks on the door. "How can I assist you?" Iruka inquires, and Karin hands him the slip, allowing him to read it. "Oh well, come on in. As I can demonstrate to the students, this works," Iruka speaks up, and Karin follows him inside. Class. This Karin Uzumaki has come to demonstrate the Academy 3 for us today, Iruka says, to which the class murmurs. Iruka then turns to Karin and says, "Alright, all you have to do is perform the henge. Kawarimi and Bunshin Jutsu," to which Karin nods slowly. Karin begins with the Kawarimi, then switches to a nondescript girl, and finally henges into a Kurenai replica. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Karin says, creating 5 copies of herself. "Hey, that's not the Bunshin Jutsu," a boy with brown hair and blue eyes exclaims. While true Konohamaru, Karin performed a Bunshin technique, Iruka says as she turns to face Karin. "Please accept my apologies," he continues. "Thank you, Iruka-sensei," Karin says before bowing and excuses herself. "Hand this in at Higarashi's," Iruka says as he follows her to the door and opens it for her. Karin nods and takes the metal plate from him. Karin exits the academy and makes her way to Higarashi's. "Oi Karin!" yells a voice, causing Karin to turn and see Anko. Karin says, "Hey Anko ne," and Anko smirks. "Where are you going?" Anko asks as they continue walking, and Karin displays her Hitai 8 plate. "Oh, congratulations. Lord Third has assembled a team for you," Anko inquires. "Team 7, says Karin. "Be careful of the Uchiha and Hyuga," Anko cautions as they continue to the shinobi store. "I know, and Naruto will be with us until the Chunin exams," Karin says as they approach the shop. "Hello and welcome to Higarashi's." Anko-sensei, Karin, a young girl approaches, her brown hair styled in 2 panda-like buns. "Tenten, hello. I'm here to get my Hitai 8 and possibly a weapon," Karin declares. "Heya, little panda," Anko says, puffing her cheeks. Tenten takes Karin's Hitai 8 plate and shows her the various cloths, from which Karin selects a red cloth to match her hair. "Any specific weapon?" Tenten inquires. Karin considered it for a moment, but Anko beat her to it. She aspires to be a medical ninja and a poisoner. "Perhaps a senbon launcher or hidden blades would suffice," Anko states. "Not many people chose the medical route," says Tenten. "I usually rely on others for help. In addition, I am a censor and can fight from a distance," Karin explains as she ties her Hitai 8 around her brow. Tenten emerges from behind the counter and guides Karin to the various senbon, while Anko searches for other weapons. Tenten demonstrates a line of wrist-mounted blades and launches to Karin. "All you have to do is channel a small amount of chakra to summon the blade. The same is true for senbon launches. The senbon can hold about 20 senbon. Making use of a Fuinjutsu formula," Tenten elaborates. Fuinjutsu is said to run in Uzumaki's blood. As a result, Naruto may be able to improve on this. "So give me one of each," Tenten scoffs as Karin says. "He has. Have you seen his Colt?" Tenten says with a shake of her head. "It's a launcher that fires metal pieces known as bullets. I asked for the blueprints to build my own, but he won't give them to me," Tenten expresses himself. "Ah. Little Panda is upset that Foxy isn't telling her anything," Anko mocks the younger genin. Tenten scoffs and takes Karin's choices to the counter to be paid for by the redhead, inform him. "I'd like to have a serious conversation with him," Tenten says this, and Anko grins. "I'll tell him," Anko says as she pays for Karin's choices, much to the surprise of the redhead. "Consider it an investment. I'll be training you, and you're Naruto's cousin, so. As his wife's big sister. You're related to me," Anko states. "Thank you, Anko ne," Karin says as she takes her items and bows to Tenten. "A foxy bastard who won't let me play with his toys," Kunoichi thought as she watched the pair leave with her bun hair. After a month, Nami, Hai no Kuni border. Team 7 and Team 8 stand on the fire countryside of Tizuna's completed bridge, alongside Tizuna and his family. The month had been fruitful for Naruto, as Victoria pretended to visit Nami 2 weeks after Gato's death to confirm and declare that her company, Kiryu Shipping, had purchased Gato's holdings. The people were immediately exhausted, having only recently regained control of their businesses, but Victoria spun a convincing cover story and provided manpower to assist Tizuna. "So, what are you going to do about Tenten?" Kurenai inquires. Naruto tilts his head in the direction of Tizuna's family as they bid farewell to his teammates and her genin. "I'm not sure. Tenten was one of the few people I knew before leaving the orphanage. I'll talk to her, and perhaps the queens will grow by one." Kurenai laughs as he responds. "You do need someone your age," Kurenai remarks, and Naruto scoffs. "Alright, everyone, let's head to Konoha with a mission completed," Kakashi says, drawing the vampire's attention, and both teams take off at full genin speed. Naruto shifts his gaze to Sasuke, who knew he had already awakened his Sharingan and Zabuza's ki reawakened it, he thinks. "Another one with those cursed eyes," hisses Kyuubi. "Now, I have no intention of using mine against you. If I could, I'd be free of you," Naruto pondered. "The feeling is mutual, leech," Kyuubi hisses, before shifting his gaze to Hinata. The Hyuga heiress spent the month following him around during the day, asking for spars and getting to know him, even using subtle seduction to subdue him. "If it was 4 years ago, I would have welcomed it, but your wiles do nothing for me," Naruto reflected. After a few hours, both teams saw the massive gate of Konoha approaching, and with a quick check-in with the Eternal Guardians Kotetsu and Izumo. The two teams split up as Kakashi and Kurenai went to the Hokage to report on their mission. "Do you want to get something to eat, Sasuke-kun? In honor of your Sharingan," Sakura expresses herself. "No," Sasuke says curtly, walking to his family compound. Hinata turns to ask Naruto a similar question, but the blonde has vanished. "He's a jerk. When you look at him, he vanishes like a shadow," she walked away, thinking. Naruto appears near a nondescript 2-story building, his clothes changing into Anbu gear with his beaked coat and mask on his face as he enters. As Naruto makes his way to Dragon's office, he finds a slew of Anbu doing various things. "Finally returned?" Dragon inquires. "We had to stay until the bridge was finished," says Naruto, handing them a scroll containing his report. "Almost killed Zabuza Momochi and gained the heightened Kekai Genkai," Dragon says as he opens the scroll and reads over Naruto's report. "True. I might need to go to Snow Country to learn some more jutsu." "Haku was a young man," says Naruto. "Or Water Country," suggests the dragon. "Only if Gramps allows us to intervene in the Civil War," says Naruto. Dragon scoffs at him and dismisses him. Yugo is on patrol, but Hana has arrived. "You can catch her before she flees," Dragon says, and Naruto nods, apologizing. Naruto searches for his loyal wolf and finds her in one of the locker rooms, which is empty except for a clone who appears to guard the door. Finally back, Hana says as she puts on her chest armor. "Yeah. Your brother is annoying," Naruto says, wrapping her arms around his waist for a soft kiss. "Tell me about it," Hana thinks. Naruto reaches into his cargo pocket and pulls out a scroll, saying, "I have a gift for you," and Hana takes the scroll, perplexed. "It's the Demon Brothers' gauntlets. I figured you could put them to use with your beast mimicry. You should really tear into your prey," Hana smiles as Naruto says. "Ufufufu. Thank you. I'll put them to good use on my mission." "Aoi Rokusho, you finally got a hold of that shithead," Hana states. Naruto grabs her chin and bites the inside of his cheek before kissing Hana again and letting his blood run down her throat. I needed a pick-me-up," Hana reflected. "Happy hunting, my wolf," Naruto thinks, and Hana giggles in her head as they back up. It shouldn't take me long, Hana says as the blonde walks out, thumbing the blood on her lips. Not for him, and then Tsunade will owe us one for recovering her family's heirloom, Naruto reasoned as he exited the locker room. His clone vanished. Naruto departs Anbu HQ, his clothes reverting to his mission attire as he vanishes, appearing on the roof of an unknown building. That is, if she ever returns to the village, Naruto muses as he leaps down and scares several villagers. The blonde walks through the village to Higarashi's shinobi shop. I wonder if she is on mission, Naruto thinks as he enters the shop but finds her at the counter. I hear you're looking for me, Panda, Naruto says, grabbing her attention. Tenten looks over to see Naruto with his hands in his pockets, of course. I want that colt for my collection, she says. Naruto takes his left hand from his pocket and makes a fist, creating and spinning his colt in his hand. I should never have used it in front of a weapon junkie like you, Naruto says as he holds the handle out to her and smacks her in the face with it. What was that for? Exclaims Tenten. Naruto leans against the counter, the gun between them. Take a moment to consider this. What if I give it to you and someone steals it or recreates it? It will be far more damaging than any jutsu. Anyone could use it to easily kill innocent people, he claims. Tenten looks away from his steely blue eyes. Okay, I'll stop asking, but I need a push. Kunoichi is despised by the general public, she claims. They are afraid of Tsunade Senju, Pakura of the Scorch, Kushina Uzumaki, and others. Kunoichi have only recently become vapid fangirls. More concerned with appearances and boys. That is the fault of the academy, says Naruto. Tenten says, tell me about it, but notices Naruto's sharp upper canines. How does your bloodline work? Asks Tenten, pointing her left index finger towards his mouth. Naruto tries to bite her finger, but Tenten pulls it away before he can. Well, I need blood to survive. Either animal or human will suffice. I can eat normal food, but it is insufficient for sustenance. Why are you curious if it can be passed on? Tenten blushes slightly as Naruto says this. And no. After all, it's just your codename as vampire, Tenten expresses himself. Naruto sighs and pushes the colt off the counter. Curse Guy for his mouth. See ya Panda, he says as he turns on his heels. Tenten looks down at the colt and reaches for it, but it disintegrates into wispy smoke. Damn it, Tenten snaps. Scene change. Might Guy, Team 3's Jonin, and his mini-clone Rock Lee were in the midst of a heated spar when the older of the two noticed a familiar blonde in his peripheral vision. That's all, Lee. We have a visitor, Guy says this while blocking a high kick. Lee notices Naruto and turns to Guy. Who is that guy sensei? Lee inquires. How about you take a lap around the village while I talk with this young Chunin? Guy suggests. I'll return soon, Guy sensei, Lee says as he nods and takes off in a light jog. What brought you here, Naruto-kun? Guy inquires. Naruto's face becomes solemn. Why did you tell a genin my true identity? He asks, and Guy adopts a solemn stance. I'm sorry, Naruto, but Tenten recognized your hair color and I went to Hokage-sama. He confirmed that you were Kaiketsuki, Guy states. A bitter scowl forms on Naruto's face, even among the faceless. I have a face, he says before disappearing before Guy can apologize. Why are you surprised? Says Kyubi as Naruto lands on the roof of his apartment complex. Naruto sighs and leaps down to unlock his door. If he wants to keep me in this village. He's not doing a very good job, he thinks as he unlaces his boots and kicks them off. The blonde collapses on his sofa, his clothes disintegrating into sweatpants and a gray tank top. Before entering his mindscape, he crosses his legs at the ankles and rests his left hand behind his head, eyes closed. Naruto ignores the Kyuubi's cage and proceeds to another hall, which transforms from a sewer to fleshy growths adorned with human faces. Each was a face he had fed or absorbed, some of which he recognized as Mizuki, Jiro, and others not. However, the forms of Danzo and Haku stood out, as opposed to the others, who were sunk into the growth to their face. Konoha's darkness and Zabuza's right hand only reached their waists and shoulders. "Tell me, is this the extent of your knowledge of your Kekkei Genkei?" asks Naruto. As Danzo scoffs, Haku only stares blankly at the blonde. "You will receive nothing from him. You've shattered him," he claims. "No matter. His mind will tell me," Naruto says, as Haku sinks deeper into the growths. "Are Homura and Koharu capable of acting without your muscle?" asks Naruto. "No. That's why they were so simple to flip. They will try to replace me." "The Uchiha family," Naruto scoffs as Danzo says. Sasuke is simply unconcerned. He won't care unless it kills Itachi faster. "In terms of the Kinslayer, does he have the other eye?" Naruto continues. "Why?" asks Danzo, but Naruto ignores him and fades away. "I was in the middle of something," Naruto muses as he opens his eyes to find someone sucking on his neck and a familiar mop of hair. "Sorry, I wanted to catch up," Anko says as she pulls from his neck, a trail of blood running down the sides of her mouth. "Is Kurenai back yet?" asks Naruto, and Anko nods. "Taking a shower," Anko says, and the blonde smiles. "Well then, let's join her," Naruto says, and Anko giggles lewdly, forgetting about Sandame. 3 days later. After 3 days of rest, Naruto and Karin return to the training grounds to meet the rest of their team, with Sasuke and Hinata awaiting the arrival of Kakashi. The redhead asked the others to get her a mission outfit, while Anko chose something practical for a medical member. She's dressed in a form-fitting black bodysuit underneath a purple kimono that reaches her knees and is adorned with black swirls. The sleeves are wide enough to conceal her hidden blade and senbon launcher, and the outfit is completed with mesh stockings and closed-toe kunoichi boots to her knees, as well as forearm-length, fingerless gloves. "Who are you?" asks Sasuke. "My name is Karin Uzumaki, and I am the newest member of Team 7, Karin says as she adjusts her glasses and looks at Naruto. "Uzumaki," Hinata says, turning to face Naruto. "Karin is my cousin and a member of the Uzumaki clan," Naruto explains. Sasuke scoffs as he looks between the Uzumaki cousins. "Well, you better not hold me back," he says, as Karin glares at him. Kakashi appears with his trademark eye smile. "Hello my kawaii team, and you seem to have met Karin," he says. This changes our team dynamic because Karin is a support ninja with a keen sense of smell. She'll be able to detect opposition much more quickly, Kakashi continues. "Will Naruto leave now that we have a third member?" Hinata inquires, but Kakashi shakes his head. "Naruto will stay with the team until the Chunin exams," adds Kakashi. "What are the Chunin exams?" Karin inquires, and Kakashi smiles. "That is an excellent question. In about 4 months, Konoha will hold an exam to see if genin from various countries are ready for promotion," Kakashi clarifies. "Will we be taking part?" Hinata inquires. "Normally, it's not unheard of, but since Konoha is hosting the exams, I'll have your team participate," Kakashi responds, glancing at Naruto. "I will also assist in this regard. Senpai will also put your affinities to the test. Something you wouldn't realize until you became Chunin." Kakashi pulls 3 slips of paper as Naruto explains. "That's right. This is chakra paper. All you have to do is direct your chakra into the paper to discover your affinity. The earth chakra causes the paper to deteriorate and crumble. The fire chakra burns it to ash. The water chakra dries the paper. The lightning chakra wrinkles the paper, while the wind chakra splits it. Kakashi explains and hands Naruto a slip. "See, I have a wind affinity," says the blonde as he channels his chakra and the paper splits in half. Kakashi then gives each of them a slip of paper, with Karin going first, her paper partially wet and crumbling. "Interesting. Water and earth affinities," says Kakashi. Hinata goes next, and her paper burns to ash, with the words, "Fire Affinity," written on it. "HN. I have a fire and lightning," Sasuke says as he holds his paper. "A high lightning affinity at that," Kakashi says, giving Naruto a smug look. The blonde ignores Sasuke and turns his gaze to Karin, but then Kakashi, "So what will we be doing today?" Naruto asks, and Kakashi responds with D ranks, confusing Karin and making her angry by the end of the day.
So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more awesome stories like this. Thank you. See you all in my next video.